as we fast approaching our first annual Rath Yatra, we were doing this Jagannath series of lectures in order to set the mood so that devotees will be inspired, devotees will be knowing the importance and also to imbibe the actual essence of Lordship Jagannath as well as this wonderful pastime of Rath Yatra. So we will get started with the Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari.
Jaya Yashodanandana Bhaja Jana Ranjana.
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Yamuna Tira Vanachari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hari Hari Bol. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Om Jnana Tasya Jnanayana Salaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Mukam Karoti Vacharam Tattvamadhyate Kripatamaham Vishnu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, regarding Jagannath, I think from the last 2 weeks we've been hearing about the Lordship, how they have appeared, or rather how they have manifested, and what are the pastimes by which he has actually come to this, in this beautiful, we don't have a form.
Behind you.
Behind his form. Beautiful form. I actually bought a picture.
Hari Bol.
Just to show.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Who's who?
Oh, okay. So this is Jagannath
Okay.
with the black. And this is Balaram, he's a fair. And this is Subhadra, who is yellow. And the one near to them is Sudarshan.
Red.
Yeah, the red.
He's like a stick.
It's like a stick. That is the picture. And we heard from Prabhu and then from the previous devotees how they appear in this beautiful form. In one lecture I heard, Jagannath is the beautiful. Jagannath is the bewildered form of Krishna. Somebody said that. And you know why it is called bewildered form?
He doesn't have eyelid. He always
That's okay. But why it is?
Because
Because he was bewildered.
Because he was bewildered. Anybody remembers? Is that last week you talked about this story?
Yeah, last week also.
Last week Prabhu was mentioning about the story how Krishna was bewildered. Anybody remembers?
probably he didn't know what is going to be his final shape when they were
No.
putting the chisels.
No, the story of the
What was,
Chandal, the Chandal house where they went looking for food. All Leelas he shared.
listening to his stories, his
And?
leelas.
And?
Then everything started to like he all three of them actually they went into that ecstasy.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the right answer. Right?
Yeah.
Nice. Mataji, I mean, at least you are listening to that.
I
Sheila
love
Mataji
that.
ki
Jai. Very nice. That's how it is. Like, look at this form. It's look like when somebody got bewildered, that's when their eyes pop out, right? And then if they are bewildered in a very good way, positive way, in a happy way, then they will have a big smile on their face, right? They will be having some kind of a bodily transformations. I mean, transformations at least like not like this, but at least they will be having some kind of what is that called, horripilation or like what, like hair standing on the end and things like that, right? Goosebumps. Yes, right. Good. So those kind of bodily transformations happens to us, but then when it happens to Lord Krishna, who is actually hearing his own pastimes, it manifests in this way, and that's what it's called. Krishna in his bewildered form is Lord Jagannath. That was interesting. Anyway, with that we will get started with today's lecture. I tried my best to try to get some points here about Lord Jagannath. It's so difficult what all need to be spoken because a lot of facts are about Lord Jagannath, right? Because Lord Jagannath is not like any other deity or Krishna's form, like what you can see in this material world or in the spiritual world. Because Jagannath is unique in all aspects. And we will try to find out why he is unique in all aspects, right? Jagannath Puri is one of the 4 dhams or 4, what is that called? Char dhams, right? Can anybody tell what are the 4 dhams?
Badrinath.
No, not you. That's a problem when a postgraduate is sitting on the
Seat was empty.
See, it was
One, yes, Prabhu.
Dwarkapuri.
Dwarkapuri, yes.
Badrinath, Kedarnath,
Dwarkapuri, one is okay. Rameshwar, yes.
Rameshwar.
Second,
Jagannath.
Jagannath Puri, yes.
And Badrinath.
And
Badrinath.
Badrinath, you already said, right?
No. Rameshwar.
Oh, you said Dwarka, and then Mataji said Rameshwaram, and then you said Puri, and then Badrinath. Correct. Char dham, right? Again, it is very important. If somebody asks you like what are the 4 dhams, you should be telling that, right? Otherwise, how many years you've been going to Sunday school? Nobody taught you about this thing. 4 things again. First thing, let's start from the north. What is in the north?
Badrinath,
Badrinath, right? What is in the south? South, Rameshwar, right? What is in the west?
Puri.
Dwarka, Gujarat,
East is
right? What is in the east? Puri. Easy, right? So these are the 4 dhams, and out of which Jagannath Puri is considered to be the most important, because in the Satyayug, Badrinath was considered to be the topmost place of worship in Satyayug. In the Treta Yuga, Rameshwaram was considered the most important place of worship. In Dwapar Yuga, obviously Dwarka, and in the Kali Yuga,
Chaitanya
Jagannath, right? because all these places are considered to be in terms of their worship and in terms of their means of worship, right? And out of these 4 dhams, Jagannath Puri is considered having the most easiest way of worship. And can you tell me, like, what is the easiest? How do you worship Jagannath?
Food, shalom, right?
Okay. Any other thoughts? How do you worship Jagannath?
Just chant the name.
Chant the name. Yes, correct. That's true. But there is another easier way.
Bhog.
Bhog.
Khana.
You're right. I just wanted to get other ideas also. Right? It is said that
He
Malpur, right?
loves food.
Yes.
Eating God, right?
Eating God. Except that the Lord actually goes and meditates on Badrinath. He takes his daily activities, all these things in Dwarka. He does his shine on Rameshwar, and he does his bhog in Puri. That's what it's Jagannath Puri is very famous.
What
and
is shine, you said?
shine means sleeping.
The sleeping. Okay.
And that's what makes Jagannath very, very, very important for the devotees like us. And that's what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has chosen to stay his 18 years, the last 18 years in Jagannath Puri. That's when he was planning to go to Vrindavan. I don't know if you remember, Pidambar Prabhu was mentioning that past time, right? He was planning to go to Vrindavan, but Lord always made that plan to divert from Vrindavan to Puri, because he wanted the Lord to manifest his final pastimes on Puri. Jagannath Puri is said to be called Neelachal, right? Neelachal means, as how many of you remember, Prabhu was mentioning last week, Neelachal, Blue Mountain. Who said that? Nice. She's Jagannath devotee. There you go.
Vanda.
Right? It's called Blue Mountain, Neelachal. Right? It is said that it is actually sitting on a mountain. But actually it is not on a mountain, it's in the seashore. How many of you have been to Jagannath Puri? Oh, nice. Jai. How come Mataji has gone and Prabhu has not gone?
Oh, no, not me, but
Mataji.
they lived there.
Oh, nice. Jai. Haribol. So we have a Puri Vasi here.
Yeah.
Dham Vasi.
Not Puri itself, but like nearby.
Close to Puri.
Odisha itself is,
Odisha itself.
Kalinga Desha itself is like the town. So it is in the shore of the ocean, and this ocean is said none other than the milk ocean. It's called the Mahodhadi. It is the milk ocean. Everybody knows milk ocean, right? But it's not milk; it's a salt water, anyways. But it said that it represents the milk ocean, and this particular form of the Lord was actually manifested there from ages, from even before Satyuga. It is said that. And this particular kshetra, this temple is called Shri Kshetra. What's that? Shri Kshetra. Shri means Lakshmi Devi, right? And she is the Lord is actually staying there as a guest. How many of you know that? The Lord Jagannath is actually staying in Shri Kshetra. Shri Kshetra, Lakshmi Devi is the one who is presiding there. But the temple is owned by another person. And that person's name is called Vimala Devi. And who is Vimala Devi? Vimala Devi is Mother Parvati. Right? Because when the Lord has married, and who is Vimala Devi? His own sister, right? When Lord married his sister to Lord Shiva, right? He has given the entire world as the dowry to his sister, right? Now, if the Lord wanted to stay in a place, that place is now belonging to whom? His sister, because he has given that place to his sister. So now, Lord is actually staying there. And if you are staying in another place, what do you have to give? Rent. So there is a beautiful ceremony wherein the Lord is actually paying rent to the sister every year. So these are all like very beautiful, pastimes wherein they enjoy. They make it as a big festival wherein the Lord is actually giving this rent to his own sister to stay in the temple. So these lordship, the Lord Jagannath, it is said that, as we mentioned, that he is the prescribed deity, or he is recommended to worship in the age of Kali. We can see that so many historians has mentioned that Lord Jagannath has been worshipped by others. What I mean by others is that Lord Jagannath has been worshipped by the Shaivites, right? And he was actually worshipped as Veerabhadra, right? And they have also worshipped Lord Jagannath as Kali. It's called Dakshina Kali, and that's what it is said that Lord Jagannath has got a ring on the nose. Have anybody noticed that? Jagannath has got a ring in his nose. Let's see the picture if that has got a ring in the nose. You see this nose ring?
Yes.
Jagannath has got a nose ring. Actually, only Jagannath has got a nose ring, not Baladev or Subhadra. But this is a picture, but that's what they have just put there. But if you see the original deities, only Jagannath has got a nose ring. The legend says that it is because he was being worshipped as Dakshina Kali, and that is what the ring represents. Because he also inherited a feminine figure also. And that's what he has got a ring. So Shaivites have worshipped him in terms of Veerabhadra, or Lord representation of Lord Shiva. Shaktas means the Shakti Upasakas. They also has worshipped him as the Devi or Dakshina Kali. Ganapatyas, they also worshipped. There is something called Ganesh Vesh. Have you heard about Ganesh Vesh? Lord Jagannath once in a year will actually take the form of Ganesh. So then he will be decorated in the form of Ganesh with the trunk, everything covered with a beautiful golden makeover, and he will come in the form of Ganesh. So they were Ganesh devotees were also worshipping Lord Jagannath. Buddhists actually worship Lord Jagannath. Have you heard about this? Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Garanam Sharanam Gacchami, right? So these three things, they said that these three, Buddha, Dharmam, Sangam, and Sangam Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami, and that's one more. No. Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami, and Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami. I think I forgot. But these three represents the three idols, right? So I mean, if you see in Odisha, there's been a big, what is that called? A revolution, not a revolution, but so many Buddhist temples have been established in Odisha, because Ashoka, he's from that place, and after this Kalinga war, he converted into Buddhism, or he rather turned into a Buddhist. And then it is said that a lot of Buddhists actually came, and they have worshipped Lord Jagannath as their own god, right? And then Jains, they also worship Lord Jagannath. So what I was trying to say is that Lord Jagannath has been worshipped in different ways by different people, and that's what he is called, a universal Lord, right? If you are worshipping Lord Jagannath, then you don't have to worship any other god. Why? Because you can find your own God in Lord Jagannath. That is because all the other traditions, all the other sects, all the other people have worshipped actually Lord Jagannath, right? And then if you're actually, a Buddhist, you can still worship Lord Jagannath in the form of, there are pastimes wherein, devotees were, there was one, I forgot his name, I think it's Ramadas or something. He was still thinking like, I will only worship Lord Ram. I will not worship anybody else other than Lord Ram, right? But then he was asked to make and he was a goldsmith, right? And then he was asked to make, and he was the best goldsmith in that place, and he was asked to make an ornaments for Lord Jagannath, like the bracelets and the belt and the bangles and things like that for Lord Jagannath. But that he said that, okay, in order to make the ornaments, I need to take the measurements. And then king said, okay, fine, go ahead and take measurements. And then he said, like, I cannot take the measurements. Said, why? Said, I will not see any form other than Lord Ram, because I am very strict, just like Hanuman, right? Hanuman is very, very, very strict. What does he say? I won't see anybody other than Lord Ram. If Lord Vishnu comes, he has to come in the form of Ram. Then only I'll worship. I mean, this is some kind of an obstinacy, but that's only good for Hanuman. And the Lord himself will actually go in the way of Hanuman because he is strict, a devotee of Lord Ram. Anyways, this Ramdas, I don't know, I forgot the actual name, but let's call him Ramdas. So he was also, very strict about, like, I won't worship, I won't see, I don't go to any other form other than my Ram. Then he said, and the king said, like, okay, do one thing. You can take measurements with your hands, right? You can actually find your hands. Oh, okay, this is this length, this is this width. This is much. Is this overall circumference? All these things you can actually find it with your hands. You don't have to see the form. And then he said, okay, fine, I can do that. So he just went to the Garbhagriha inside that altar in the sanctum sanctorum. And then he was just actually taking the measurements of Lord Jagannath. And then he was actually taking the hand, and this hand is not like a big, like the one which we see here. It was very slender and long hands. And the hands were not straight. The hands were not like this horizontal. It was vertically down. And when the hands was actually touching the knee, it's called Ajanu Lambida Bhujo. Janu means your thigh. Ajana means hand touching your thighs. And that's the masculine property according to the Lakshana Shastra. If a person is well built, his hand should touch the thigh, or rather knee. And that's what the topmost feature of Lord Ram. Ajana Lambida Bhujo. And the same thing is used for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ajana Lambida Bhujo Kanakavataro. Now Vishwambaro. So he was actually seeing that the Lord's hand was actually very strong, and then it was very long. And then he was actually seeing that he was actually having a very well-built body. And then he was having a crown. He was having a lush, hair locks. And then, surprisingly, he said he is also having a kodanda. Kodanda means what?
Arrow and bow.
The bow, right? And then he was just looking and touching his eyes, and everything is exactly as the features of the Lord which he worshipped as who? Lord Ram. And then he just opened his eyes, and sure enough, who was in front of him? Lord Ram. Right? So Jagannath can actually come in any form, in the sense like you can worship the Lord in any form, right? So all the devotees were actually worshipping the Lord, but in reality, if you ask me, like, tell me one thing, who is really Jagannath? Then Shankaracharya answers this question. Shankaracharya says that Bhuje Savye Vedum Shirasi Shikhi Pischam Katitate Dukulam Netrande Sahachari Kataksham Vidatate Sada Shrimad Vrindavan Vasati Leela Parichayo. This is the real Jagannath. Right? Translation means Bhuje Savye Venu. In the Bhuja means in his hands. Venu. What is going Venu? Flute. In his hand he is holding a Bhuje Savye Venu. Shirasi Shikhi Pischam. Shikhi means, in the top, in Shirasa is having a beautiful peacock feather. Shirasi Shikhi Pischam Kati Tate. And then Dukulam Netrande. Dukulam Netrande means Krishna always having a sidelong glance. Right? He's always looked with a sidelong glance. Dukulam Netrande. At the end of the Netra, he's actually looking. Right? Who he is looking to? Radha. Right? Radha and the devotees also. Right? Dukulam Netrande Sahachari Kataksham Vidatate. He was actually, Sahachari means his associates basically. Kataksham means he's actually gracefully looking at them. Sada Shrimat Vrindavana Vasadi. Sada Shrimat Vrindavana Vasadi means always he is staying in Vrindavan. Sada Shrimat Vrindavana Vasati Leela Parichayo. He is actually always doing the Leela in Vrindavan. That personality is Jagannath. Who is saying that?
Shankaracharya.
And who is Shankaracharya?
Lord Shiva.
Lord Shiva, but who is he?
In,
He was a topmost impersonalist.
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? He was a topmost impersonality. He was actually, Advaita Siddhanta.
Yes.
He's saying like there is no form for the Lord. There is no form. Everything is a Maya. And everything is completely, formless. There is one Brahman. All this kind of impersonalism he was expounding. But internally, it is said that Acharya says that he is as if a person, like for example, if somebody has to, I'm not getting a right example, but if he is a very strong believer, right? But he has to teach, let's say, atheism, let's say political science or something, right? Is his job. He is a political science professor, but he is a strong believer inside. That is his core. But by profession, somehow he became a professor who is actually teaching atheism and political science. So he just goes to the college, and then what he professes or he lectures about this thing. But at home, what is he doing? And if the person who is actually in the student, when he comes to the home, he will be having a culture shock.
Yeah.
That the person who is 12 hours a day is actually talking about the whole political science and atheism and everything. At the home, he's actually doing arati. Same thing. Shankaracharya, at core, he was a great devotee. Great devotee. That's what he has actually. Who has actually written the Gita Mahatmya? Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Ego Mantrastasya Namaniyan. Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya. Eko Devo Devaki Putra De. Eko, there is only one God, and that is Devaki Putra, who is Krishna. Right? Who is saying that? Shankaracharya himself is saying that. So Shankaracharya, being the topmost devotee, or rather the topmost devotee, the authorized person, he certifies that this Jagannath is nothing but who? The Supreme Lord.
So, is this before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met him? And is this the statement comes before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met him and then he converted
Met
him
whom?
into Shankaracharya?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never met Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya was long before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Is it in Kali Yuga though?
Of course, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
But not, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was like 500 years ago. Shankaracharya is like almost like 1,000 plus years.
Okay. But
From
even
where
today,
he got that Shankaracharya met Chaitanya
even
Mahaprabhu?
is the Shankaracharya the starting point? But even today, like they say
Oh, the Shankaracharya.
Yes.
Okay.
That's
So see, this is a different one. So Shankaracharya is the original Shankaracharya, the personality himself. But even now the Shankaracharya exists.
Yeah.
In the sense, the Shankaracharya, there are mathas, right?
Yes.
I don't know, 64 mathas or something. And the head of all this thing, that person is still called a Shankaracharya.
exactly. Yeah,
Right?
Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking.
I don't know if there is I don't know if there is an instance wherein he has met any of those Shankaracharyas. I don't know. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu definitely has met a lot of Panditas, right? Like, Keshava Kashmiri, Prakashananda Saraswati, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all these, great philosophers and scholars Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met, and they had into a philosophical discussions. But I'm not
But
sure.
they were all followers of Sankaracharya because they were Nirakarvadis.
Well, you can say in one way, yes. In one way, we can say that.
Yeah.
In one way, we can say that. Anyway, coming back to the relapse. So, yeah. So, Shankaracharya, he himself is actually mentioning that Lord Chaitanya, Jagannath is Lord
Devaki Putra.
Devaki Putra, correct. And then there is another beautiful, I've just read this. Shankaracharya, he went to Puri. He went to Puri and then he happened to see the Rath Yatra. We will talk about what is Rath Yatra. He saw the Rath Yatra wherein Lord Jagannath. And how many of you have seen Rath Yatra? Jagannath Rath Yatra? Okay, let me ask it. How many of you have not seen Rath Yatra? Just with a confident raise of hand.
In Puri or
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
Oh, here, yes.
Just a full raise of your
Who have
hand.
not seen?
Not seen.
Okay, wait. Okay, who has not seen? Who has not seen? Everybody put their hands down. Come on, this is not fair.
Alright, that's fine. I see a few hands coming up.
The first question was those who have not seen in Puri.
Okay.
Okay.
But whatever. People who have not seen the Rath Yatra, Jagannath is actually very mercifully coming to Stouffville.
Yes.
And he is doing the Rath Yatra here in Stouffville.
Yes.
So those who have not attended, please do come and you will get a golden opportunity to see the Lord Jagannath coming out with his brother and sister, and they will be having the Rath Yatra here.
Hari Hari.
So those who have raised their hand, I strongly recommend and I hope that you will all be there in the first of the line pulling the
Ratha. And when is it happening? Again, ask them.
27th of July.
You must
which-
ask them.
Right. I mean, so please do come. I think we will be talking. Yes, bro.
Some people are asking what is the route they are gonna take.
Just this Milliken Park, the roundabout. That's it.
Just
Yeah, come at 11 o'clock in Milliken Park. You will.
Memorial Park.
Memorial Park.
Even there they should come. This August.
Milliken Park, you should be going on August 7th or something. Sorry, Memorial Park. I repeat, Memorial Park in Stouffville, right here. So if 11 o'clock you come there, it's very hard to miss us, right? You will be part of the parade. Coming back. So Jagannath Puri, he saw this beautiful Rath Yatra happening. We'll talk about Rath Yatra in a bit. And then he was seeing Jagannath was sitting in the chariot, grand chariot he was sitting. And besides that, there was another personality sitting, besides to Jagannath. And that was Radharani. Radharani was sitting near to Jagannath. And then, when the devotees were pulling this Rath so fast, Radharani was actually becoming a little scared. Saying like, no, why these devotees are actually pulling the Rath so fast? And when Radharani got scared, what did Jagannath do? He embraced her. And then he wrote a verse. What is that called? Param Brahma Pita Kuvalaya Darol Bhullanayano Nivasi Neeladra Nihida Charano Ananda Shirasi Rasanandi Radha Sarasa Vapur Alingana Sukho Jagannatha Swami Nayanata Dagami. He has not only mentioned about Krishna, he has also mentioned about Radharani also. Who? Shankaracharya himself. So, even though we said that all these different forms, Jagannath has been worshipped in all the forms, still the actual identity who Jagannath is given by the authorized source from whom? Adi Shankaracharya. As I've already mentioned that Jagannath has been worshipped by different people, like even tribals also. Last week we heard the lecture of Prabhu mentioning that, it was worshipped by tribals and they are called Shabaras, right? They are also worshipped Jagannath also. And Jagannath worship, one speciality of Lord Jagannath is that his worship is not according to the traditional worship you find in any of the temples. Normally, in the temples, the worship is being based on primarily three traditions. The one is Vedic, right? The second is Tantric / what is that? Smartha, Tantric / Smartha tradition. And the third one is Pancharatric, right? Mostly the temples worship will be based on the Tantric / Smartha. And this traditional worship has been established by Shankaracharya himself, right? And that's when we will be very, very particular about reciting the mantras to the Lord, maintaining that thing. It is mentioned in the scriptures, very much mentioned on the scriptures, which is a byproduct of Veda itself, right? Vedic tradition is primarily for the yajnas and the homas and things like that. But when it comes to the idol worship, it's primarily Tantric / Smartha. Following? Okay? Don't worry, it's too technical. I'm just giving an information, that's it. And the last one is Pancharatric. What is this Pancharatric? Pancharatric is what we follow. The ones which we see here, it is Pancharatric, right? Why Pancharatric? Because when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to this material world, and he saw that all the puja, part, mantra, recitation, everything is a complete monopoly of Brahmins, strictly Brahmins, and that too high class Brahmins. Even there are gradations in Brahmins. There are even Brahma Bandhus who are born in a Brahmin family but they don't follow the things. And these are only for the top class Brahmins. They can only follow these rituals, these Vedic mantras, the puja and everything. But then what happens? What about the other people who are really into that? So this Mahamantra was originally Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. And this mantra was actually given to only the people who are born from a Brahmin father and mother. Right? Only from a Brahmin father and mother. The others will not get this. Even if somebody is chanting this mantra, that person will be put in the jail. Just imagine how much. Just imagine how much kind of like a cruelty was that. That the Lord's name is somebody's monopoly. Is that true? Is that true? I mean, is that the true statement? The Lord's name is only for certain people to be chanted? No. Right? Every Jivera Swarupa? The Swarupa of Jiva. Swarupa means what?
Form.
Identity. Perfect. The identity of Jiva is what? Mataji? Identity of Jiva is what?
Body.
Is body? We are the servants of the Lord, right? I think Mataji is still bewildered, coming to the, still processing, getting into the processing. The eternal servitor, we are all servitors of the Lord. That is our eternal constitution, identity, right? And if we are all eternal, everybody without exception. Everybody without exception. And since that is our identity, can anybody stop from giving Harinam to another person? No. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was asking that, why are you not giving this name to the Lord to everybody? Because if some person wanted to worship the Lord, why are you putting him behind the bars? You should be very happy that one person is taking up the Lord's name. Like for example, let's say if you are actually, let's say Ramesh Prabhu, he is actually, going and let's say he is reading some Bhagavad Gita at, let's say in office, like free time, not at work time. And then his friend asks, what is this? And they said Bhagavad Gita. And he just speaks to him. And then let's say he gets interested into that one. He buys the Bhagavad Gita and started chanting. Will Ramesh Prabhu be happy or he will be sad?
Happy.
Ecstatic, right? What is the reason of happiness? Is he expecting anything from him? No, because see, one person is also taking Krishna's name. That is the mellow heart of a devotee. One more soul is attracted to the Lord, and that makes us happy, right? And that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Jiva Doya. Jiva Doya means Jiva Daya. Jiva Doya in Bengali is Jiva Daya. Jiva Daya means what? Compassionate to other devotees, and that's what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was embodiment of Jivadaya. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked these people, like, no, why are you not giving this mantra to others? They said, like, this is proprietary. This is proprietary. Mine means this can only be chanted by the Brahmanas who are having a bloodline. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, okay, if that is proprietary, I am going to make my own mantra. And that is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And these people were spellbound. They had no clue that he will come up with this mantra. What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did?
Copyright violation, but
Huh?
when a trick.
Exactly, the same thing, right? Like for example, this microphone,
Yeah.
right? Exactly this kind of microphone nobody can manufacture. The problem with that, when a person manufactures this kind of microphone, the person who has manufactured this one, he will actually file a case
Copyright.
against me.
Yeah.
Because this is trademark or whatever you call that, proprietary thing, right?
Patent.
Patent thing, thank you. That's a patent thing. But what I will do, I will change the color. I will make this to white and make this to black. Done.
A small size.
I simply change the color
Yeah.
and now I can manufacture this.
Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did the trick. And these people had no idea that he will make. He made that, okay, I am putting Krishna in the front. And I will give this name freely to everybody. Plus I will do one more thing. What he do? I will put all my energies into this mantra and I will make this as the
Mahamantra.
Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shakti. I put all the Shakti to this mantra, and whoever chants this mantra, they will go back home, back to God.
Haribo.
So that was Lord, that was the, how did I come to this one? This Tantric and, so these mantras and everything, this all this has to be performed only by the Brahmanas, right? The Tantric slash Smartha, tradition can only be performed by the born Brahmanas. So, but Jagannath Puri, these three traditions are not there. Jagannath Puri, they don't follow this tradition. At one point, what did Chaitanya Ramanujacharya came to visit Jagannath Puri. And when he came to visit Jagannath Puri, he saw that it is not according to these three traditions. It is not according to Vedic, it is not according to Smartha or Tantric, or not even to Pancharatrik, I didn't mention. That is how he came. Pancharatrik, right? The Pancharatrik is the instructions which is given by Brahmaji to Narada on 5 nights. It's called Pancharatrik. How he should be worshipped. What are the 5, what are the different ways by which he should be worshipped. And this is specifically for the Vaishnavites and the people who are non-Brahmins but who are born as Vaishnavites. You get what I'm trying to say? Who are non-Brahmins but not born as Vaishnavites. What does that mean? Can anybody try to explain that? Reply. People who are not Brahmins, not born as Brahmins, but born as Vaishnavites.
Yeah,
So those who-
born in a Brahmana family, taking initiation and becoming a
No.
Vaishnava.
Quality like.
So by heart they want to praise the Lord, but they are not
unfortunately,
authorized.
They are not exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Did everybody hear what Prabhu said? No?
Repeat.
Can you repeat one more time, Prabhu?
So those are the people, those by heart they want to serve the Lord, but they are not authorized because of the norms of the society at that point in
Exactly.
time. Yeah.
That's right. So what happens to them? So to that people is what Lord Brahma himself has actually, Brahma has given the Vedas. Just remember. And the same person has actually given this because he knew that in the Kali Yuga it's going to happen.
Yeah.
And that Pancharatras, there are different Pancharatras, right? Just Narada is Brahma has given to Narada and Narada has given to all these rishis. And we are actually following the Narada Pancharatra Vidhi, right? And I think Rupa Goswami or Sanatana Goswami has actually made this into a proper book called, what is that book, Prabhu? Hari Bhakti Vilas. In the Hari Bhakti Vilas is what we follow, all this thing, whatever we are seeing, right? Here in our Iskcon or in the Vaishnava tradition, whatever we are seeing is based on the Pancharatrik way. Now, Coming back to this thing. But in Jagannath Puri, what's happening? They are not following Vedic, Tantric, Smartha or Pancharatri. What they are following is very strange. They follow something called a Pantha. What do you mean by Pantha?
Particular sect.
Pantha means a correct. A Pantha means a path,
Path.
right? A path. That means, and this path has been made by whom? Jagannath himself. And how did he make this path? He made this path based on the pastimes he had with his devotees. Right? Like for example, there is a devotee called Bandhu Mohanty. Right? Anybody heard about this name, Bandhu Mohanty? There you go. They are the authentic people who can speak about Lord Jagannath, right? You heard about Bandhu Mohanty. See, Bandhu Mohanty was a very, again, born as a Vaishnava, right? And then he was, unfortunately, he was very poor, right? Very poor. And same like, situation like Sudama, right? He was very poor, extremely poor, but he was very rich with his devotion to the Lord Jagannath. And he had 6 kids also. And then obviously same thing, like the wife always asked him, like, okay, why are you always taking the name of Lord Jagannath? Why can't you just go to Lord Jagannath and ask something from the temple, so that the temple might actually help you? Some kind of food or some kind of something, they will help you. You're always taking the name of Lord Jagannath, but why can't you just go to the temple and then get some help from there? And then he said, like, Jagannath will provide everything for us. But then look at this. Is he what he providing to us? Look at the stomach of these kids. Their stomach has actually gone to the back, right? They cannot even stand properly. It's been weeks they have eaten any proper food. Extreme poverty. And then obviously the mother cannot see this thing, right? So she said, like, you have to do something about that, otherwise in few days our kids will be dead and I will also be dead. And then he said, like, fine, let's go to Jagannath Puri. So they all packed the bag. There's nothing to pack the bag. Just walked. Just walked and walked and walked for 3-4 days. They were walking to Jagannath Puri. And then when they reached there, the moment they reached there, by that time they were completely exhausted. Remember, they've been walking for 4 or 5 days without anything, only water, without any food. They just reached Jagannath Puri, and then by the time they just reached Jagannath Puri, they were completely exhausted and they kind of like half conscious, right? It was night and they were just started sleeping on some cow shed or something nearby. And at the middle of the night, he just woke up by hearing a sound called Bandhu Mohanty. Oh, Bandhu Mohanty, where are you? I'm just looking for you. And this person woke up from the sleep and he was looking, yes, I am Bandhu Mohanty. Who is this? It's like, I am the Pujari of Lord Jagannath, and then I have something for you, right? Obviously, he was carrying a big plate full of prasadam, right? And prasadam of Lord Jagannath is very auspicious, very sumptuous and rich. And he was carrying this big plate full of prasadam for Lord Jagannath, of Jagannath. And then he gave this plate. By the time he saw this plate of Jagannath prasadam, half of his hunger has got satisfied. And then all the family was having this sumptuous prasadam, and they just, after taking this prasadam, obviously they were again got into sleep, satisfied, fully satisfied. And this Pujari has gone back. So they just kept that plate there and then they slept. And next day morning, they woke up and they saw that people are surrounding them. And they were looking at this plate, and this plate was made of gold. This is not gold plated, but this plate is of gold, right? And they saw that it's precious gold plate. That itself will actually make their generations like richer, right? And these people are around surrounding them, and they were asking like, okay, this is Jagannath's evening bhoga plate, and it's been stolen from the temple since yesterday night, and now we captured. So then immediately the king was summoned. The king knew about this thing, and the king came, and king asked him, from where you got this plate? And then he said, like, yesterday night somebody came at the middle of the night, some pujari came from the temple, and he said that he has got a prasadam for me, and he was calling my name. I didn't know him, he didn't know me, but he was calling my name by Bandhu Mondi, and he was giving this plate to me. And then it was hard for the king to believe it. And then all the people surrounding, they would say like, no, he is just telling the lie, right? This could be the people. By looking at them, it seems like, they are beggars, and they will do anything and everything to live, and that's what they would have stolen the temple's property. But the king was a devotee of the Lord. King is always a devotee. It's called Gajapati. It's always a devotee of the Lord. The king said, okay, fine, I'm not going to punish you. I want to find out by myself. And then the king actually went into fasting. Can you imagine? This is the quality of the king. A person who wanted to resolve a problem, he just get into meditation and fasting. He will find out, Jagannath will let me know what is the real reason. Till that time, I will fast. Right? And then king went to fasting. And then in his deep meditation, he saw Jagannath taking a form of a big fat brahmana, a pujari, and then he was holding a plate, a golden plate full of prasadam, and he was calling, oh Bandhu Mohanty, where are you? Oh, I am actually having this plate full of prasadam for you. And he was just walking. And then the king understood that the person who was carrying this thing was Bandhu Mohanty. And then king has invited him, paid obeisances to the Lord, that the Lord himself has come. And what made Lord Jagannath to come to offer this plate?
Love of devotees.
Love of the devotees, his own devotees, right? And from then onwards, this family of Bandhu Mohanty was the one who was actually preparing the supper plate of Lord Jagannath. Now you see how that tradition has come. Likewise, there are over 300 different rituals or things of Jagannath who has designed by whom? Jagannath himself. And how he has designed? Based on the pastimes. And these pastimes are called Pantha. Right? This is Pantha. That because the Lord liked how he needed to serve, how he needed to be served. Last time, Sudarshan Prabhu was mentioning about the Shabaras. And who is Shabaras? Tribals, untouchables, people who are actually eating pig and all these things. They are the ones who is actually taking care of Jagannath in the last, in the 7 days of Anavasara. Anavasara is a time when Lord take bath. We'll talk about the Snana Yatra. Lord take bath, and after taking bath, Jagannath will actually get sick, right? And that 7 days, that 1 week is called Anavasara. Anavasara means people cannot see the Lord. The temple will be closed. These 7 days will be directly taken care by Shabaras. Just imagine. Jagannath temple is a mandir where non-Hindus are not permitted inside. But the direct service of the Lord is being given by tribals. This is a pantha. You know what I'm trying to say? So Jagannath Puri, that's what I'm trying to say. Jagannath Puri is very, very, very special in terms of nobody can see any of this kind of ritual anywhere. Everything is completely based on the direct relationship and pastimes with the devotees. Direct. And that's called is Nitya Leela. Prakata Leela. Right? Jagannath will actually make direct pastimes with you. Even today, even now in this material world, he will actually play pastimes with you. Right? So, this Bandhu Mohanty, he was being given that service. Likewise, there are over 300 services given to different people. There are people who are making the pots for Jagannath, for making the bhoga. There are people who are actually making the sweeping. That's for 40 years or 40 generations, 100 generations, 500 generations, that family will be doing that service. And most of the service are non-wage service. What does that mean?
Voluntary.
Voluntarily. All they get is prasadam from the Lord. For generations, for generations. Have you seen the video wherein the people climbing on the top of the Jagannath, 240 feet high, that dome, and putting on the flag?
Yes.
Right? That is the people will actually wait to see that. I think twice or thrice they will change the flag.
Only once in a day.
Oh, once in a day.
Every day evening. There is no timing. Once we are also waiting for when he is going to come. 5 o'clock hour, 6 hours, 7 hours. Then he asked the Panda, what do you mean? There is a fixed time? No. Those Pantas, those Pandas, they have to get the instruction from the Lord.
Oh, okay.
They are also waiting.
Yeah.
Once the instruction comes, 2 kids will go.
Wow, look at that. See, this is Pantha. Nothing is written, Prabhu. It has to come from the Lord. It said that when the bhoga is offered to the Lord, the pujari who is actually doing this, called Pandas, they will actually get the what's that called, the instinct or the inside feeling, instruction that okay, now I have taken the bhoga. Till then the bhoga will not be taken out. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 10 minutes, it could be 1 hour, it could be whatever. It's everything goes with the Lord's direct reciprocation. Even today. And that is what is not written. If it has something to be written, it has, okay, 4 o'clock, changing the flag. That is written. And that's what the Tantric and the Smartas and the, like for example, we have 5 o'clock Aarti. Can we say that I am not getting the instruction from the Lord, let me wait till 7 o'clock? Can we do that? No. That is written, right? But this is nothing like that. And all these things is written in a book called Magdala Panjika. Right? Haven't you heard of that? Magdala Panjika? You heard, right, Prabhu? Yeah. It's called a Magdala Panjika. This Magdala Panjika is only for Lord Jagannath. And it is written like what all are things to be done. This is how it should be done. And Magdala Panjika can also, there are versions of Magdala Panjika. Do you ever heard of there is a version of Vedas? No. There's only one version, which is as spoken by Lord Brahma. Or Krishna, Lord Vishnu to Brahma and Brahma to Narada. That's it. There's no versions. Could be English version, Hindi version, but no change. But this always changes. Why? Because now Jagannath says something different and he will engage somebody else and that will become a pantha. It's so strange, it's so beautiful. And that is how this whole ritual is being followed only in Jagannath Puri. So once Ramanujacharya came to this place and he saw that this is very weird. Nowhere I've seen this kind of a ritual and nowhere I've seen this kind of tradition following. I'm going to change all these things. And then Ramanujacharya consulted the king and Ramanujacharya said, like, these are the things which you need to be changed because I think it's very primitive, right? And then he gave the instructions and the king got convinced. King said, yeah, Ramanujacharya is such a great acharya, great learned scholar. And if he's saying something, that means we have to change it. And Ramanujacharya put everything down and then he said that I'm going to instruct the pujaris, I'm going to put down all these things based on the smartha way of doing this thing. And then in that night, Ramanujacharya got shifted with the bed. He was sleeping on the king's bed in the palace. He was shifted from the Puri to Kurmakshetra, somewhere in Andhra Pradesh. And who has shifted him over the night? Ramanujacharya woke up and he saw that there's a different bed is same, but the place is different. And he was looking and then everybody was speaking Telugu. Yesterday I was in the middle of people talking Odia, and now in the matter of 3-4 hours I am in Andhra Pradesh. Right? What is going on? And then he could realize that okay, this is something Lord Jagannath don't want me to put my all this brilliance and everything. He is by his own way. I don't want you to interfere in that one. And then in Kurma Kshetra, he put a Kurma temple, and then he just carry on from there. Anyway, so that is Lord Jagannath's beauty in terms of setting up these rituals, and it's completely based on his pure relationship and pastimes with his own devotees. Talking about Rath Yatra, right? That is the main topic. So Rath Yatra is the festival when the Lord actually comes out and performs a beautiful pastime. And what is that pastime? He gives darshan to everybody, right? Normally it is said that for us, for us to take the darshan of the Lord, what we have to do?
We have to go to the,
We have to
go to the Lord.
go to the
Mandir.
temple, right? And we take the darshan of the Lord. But here Jagannath is so merciful that actually he comes out of the temple and he gives darshan to everybody, irrespective. And this has been done by other temples. Like for example, Srirangam, there is called, Brahmotsavam, right? In Brahmotsavam, Lord Ranganath actually comes out and visits, the whole village. But that is the Ulsava Murti. Ulsava Murti means what? There are two murtis in the temple. One is the main deity wherein the Aradhana is happening, right? The worship is happening. And there is a small Ulsava Murti wherein this is called kind of a proxy, where it's going for outside and all other things. Those Utsava Murti is. Have you seen that Utsava Murti? Yes. Right? But only in Jagannath there is no Utsava Murti. Utsava Murti, main Murti, all Murti is one Murti, which is Jagannath himself. And if Jagannath wants to go, he himself will go out. And he comes out in his own form. I mean, actual big, huge Jagannath. The Jagannath will actually almost like 400 kilos or something, half a ton, right? He will come out. What's that called? Pahadi? What's that? The way he comes out of this. Pahandi, yeah. He actually comes out. You have to see this Rath Yatra. I mean, yeah, it's there in YouTube. Jagannath Puri Rath Yatra, you have to see. Pahandi is when Lord Jagannath comes out. On the devotees will actually take him, and then he will actually move like that, right? So he just dance like that. We are thinking that people are moving him. No, he is moving the people. Get seriously, they are moving like that. It will take hours and hours for Jagannath to come out. It will take hours and hours for Baldev to come out. But the person who is taking more time will be obviously Jagannath. Sometimes it is said that, my Shiksha Guru was there in this thing, and he was having some intimate connections with the Pandas, very close relationship with Pandas. The Pandas says that when the Jagannath is not moving, and this guy is actually weighing almost like half a ton, right? They are on the he's on the shoulders of the devotees, among the Pandas. And this Pandas get fed up, and he will be calling like, oh Kaliya, oh Badmash, this thing, that thing, all the bad words. Can you please move to the Rath? My shoulder is paining. Right? Then Jagannath will actually move an inch. Then the other devotee will actually make some abuse to Jagannath. And Jagannath he will enjoy. It said that is their reciprocation. Is that true, Prabhu? Yeah. That's how they do that. They call him.
One more thing is like, these are the people, they'll be yelling at him. Correct. Some pure devotee, he says, Jagga, if he says, he'll stop there.
So it's completely based on the relationship with this devotee and the Lord. So that is why the Lord will actually come out. He will sit in this beautiful 3 rathas, and this ratha is every time, it's a huge big ratha, right? You see normal ratha, what we see in the Toronto Rath Yatra and everything, you just make it like 100 times bigger. That big that the ratha is, Jagannath Ratha. And this ratha is completely made of neem tree. And this tree, every time they will make new ratha, right? New chariot. And when they are making the chariot, they will not use any kind of nails or anything like that. Everything is made of wood only, completely wood. There is no epoxy, there is no glue, there is no nails, nothing. Everything is very traditionally made. And the Lord will actually sit on this ratha. Jagannath will be, I think, what is that ratha of Jagannath? Nandi Ghosh and Taladwaj, right?
Yeah.
Baladev is Taladwaj and Deva. Oh, this- yeah. Darpadalana, right? Darpadalana is for Subhadra, right? So these three rathas will be there, and the Lord will actually sit on the rath, and the devotees, almost 1.5 million people attend. 1.5 to 2 million people attend for the Rath Yatra. So there is a 3 kilometers stretch road from Jagannath Puri to Gundicha Mandir. The Gundicha Mandir is Lord's aunt's place, right? Krishna's, Lord Jagannath's aunt's place. But he said that Lord will take a break. Lord wanted to take a break. So in the summer he will actually go there. And this aunt of the Lord, Gundicha Devi, she will actually make some nice recipes for the Lord. There are some special recipes. Only in Gundicha temple you will get. So Jagannath is very fond of food. Remember we were talking about very fond of food. If you wanted to please Jagannath, you just make some malpua. You want to please Jagannath, you make some nice laddus. You just wanted to please Jagannath, you make some nice rasgullas. How many of you know that the best rasgullas you will get in Odisha? Most of you might be thinking that the best rasgullas you will get in Bengal. No. Bengalis, please forgive me. Any Bengalis here? No, thank God. The best rasgullas you will get in Odisha, right? So anyway, if you want to please Jagannath, you just make some nice malpua or nice this thing. If you really wanted to, really wanted to please Jagannath, what do you have to offer? Jackfruit. Jackfruit is the favorite of Lord Jagannath. There's one pujari in the Jagannath Puri. Every night, Jagannath and his pujari will actually go and steal jackfruit. Right? Prabhu was actually mentioning another story. There is jackfruit story. There are thousands of jackfruit stories. This guy was actually, this pujari, every day after the pujari does his puja service and everything, he closes the door. And Jagannath said like, oh, what about today? So he said like, what about today? See, there is one zamindar somewhere 2 kilometers from here. And he has got beautiful jackfruits. This jackfruit is red in color. Yesterday we saw like, little yellowish, right? No, this is red in color. And this smells like nectar, right? Let's go. And this pujari said like, it's already time, 9 o'clock. I have to go. My kids are waiting. Half an hour, what to do? Kids, half an hour to Indian, way of communicating. Half an hour, 1 hour, what's going to make a difference? The kids will be there. Let's go get the jackfruit and you can go. So this pujari, every day they will go like that. So one day, this pujari and Jagannath went for what?
Jackfruit shopping.
Not jackfruit shopping. Jackfruit?
Lifting.
Stealing. He just went for stealing. So this guy, who? Jagannath, he will be always, he's very brilliant, a very smart guy. He will be always standing at the bottom, and then this poor pujari, he will be always climbing the jackfruit. Pujari never asked him why you should not be. Jagannath said like, okay, there should be, I am very strong, I can only catch the jackfruit. If you are behind, you will be a chutney. If the jackfruit fall on your head, you will become a chutney. So better I stand here because I am very strong, you see. And this poor Brahmana always believes that. It's not because of that, I'll tell you why. And this one day, and this poor Brahmana was up there, and then just he put the 2-3 jackfruits. And then it made a big sound because it's such huge jackfruit. And by the time Jagannath realized that this jackfruit was big and it made a big sound, this guy ran away. Who? Jagannath. He ran away and closed the temple. And this guy from the top, he saw that, okay, everything is ran, and then people running towards that. And he was asking, Jagannath, you still there? Is there anybody coming? No sound. And then these people came and he saw the torchlight and they saw that this poor pujari is on the top of, what are you doing here? And I said like, I just to see, what are you doing there? It's been, this thing has been going on for so long. We were just trying to find out who is the person who is, stealing this jackfruit. Now we find out this is the person. And they were just started beating him, right? And then he just beated him, and then he just came to the temple next day morning, and he said that, no, and Jagannath said like, how are you? And this guy said like, here is water, here is flower, here is offering. No more connection between us. Right? And then Jagannath said like, no, what happened? That's what I'm asking. What happened yesterday? Right? You just left behind all these people and you just ran away, right? And Jagannath said that, I had no other choice. If people are caught me, like I am the Lord of the universe. You're at least a servant, right? If they catch me, like, what will they will think about me? Right? So I just have to run. And then this guy actually came, and then he was actually changing and then these people actually smashed, given some nice beatings and all, right, to this pujari. And the next day morning, he was changing the flowers and everything, and he saw that all the beatings were on the Jagannath's body. And Jagannath said that even though people beat you, all these things has come to my body. What I was trying to say is that this is all like, Nitya Leela, which is happening on Jagannath Puri. And then, if you really wanted to please, you please jackfruit. And this Jagannath Rath Yatra, please bring jackfruit. If you really, really wanted to please Lord Jagannath, right? And then this Lord who is coming back from this Puri, when he is coming back, he stayed there in Gundija temple for 7 days, and then he comes back. When he comes back, Lakshmi Devi, who is there in this mandir, she is now really upset with the Lord, right? She is now saying like, no, you have to go out by yourself, right? You don't have to think about me who I'm actually waiting for 7 days, right? So now I will not let you inside the temple. Remember, this is Sri Kshetra, right? The temple's main presiding person is Lakshmi Devi. So she said that I will not let you in. She will actually close the door. It really happens. It's a beautiful event. Lakshmi Devi will actually close the door. Jagannath will be waiting outside. And then conversation happens, right? Conversation happens and Jagannath will say that, you know what, I have actually bought a nice garland for you. And Jagannath will actually give a garland to Lakshmi Devi. Nothing doing, you cannot entice me with this garland, all this kind of things. You know what, I have bring some nice rasgullas to you. They will actually give rasgullas to Lakshmi Devi. Nothing doing this. And then finally Jagannath will actually, and this all happening like pujaris are actually conversing, right? And Jagannath started glorifying Lord Lakshmi Devi. He said, how you are so much, dear to my heart. How you are the only person always there for me. When you are actually massaging my feet, I am always, in ecstasy. This thing, that thing, and Lakshmi Devi will say, this guy will never change. Okay, come in. And then she will let Jagannath come inside. So that's a beautiful festival happening. I will just mention one more pastime and then I'll wrap up. Regarding this Jagannath Puri, the king is a person who is actually, there are different pastimes wherein during the Rath Yatra, right? The king is a person who is actually sweeping the floor, the road, right? It is said that anything and every service of the Lord during the Rath Yatra or in Jagannath Puri is being ordained directly by the Lord himself. So the king who's called Gajapati is the one who is actually coming and sweeping the floor. So one time the king was, and again it is said that if you really sweep the floor or the road when the Rath Yatra is happening, you will have something called a Raja Yogam. How many of you have heard about this called Raja Yogam? What is Raja Yogam? You will have the opulence of a king, right? So if you really wanted, how many of you want to have a opulence of king? Nobody? What? Seriously? Nobody wants. What is this, Prabhu?
We preach too much about not having opulence.
Too many preaching is happening.
Everybody wants love of God.
Huh?
Love of
My
God.
goodness. Nobody want to become kingly opulence. Everybody. Huh? Two things. One is either you are not understanding what you are saying, or you have really become enlightened. I don't know what is what, but nobody want to become. Okay, anyway. If you are actually sweeping the broom, which we will be doing here, you will be really having the Raja Yogam in your life. It is said that. Anyway, that's a very auspicious. So the king was actually sweeping the road, and then the Rath Yatra was going on. And meanwhile, king has actually sent a proposal for his son. The king of Odisha has actually given a proposal to his son to the next, it's a Kalinga, not Kanchi, yeah, you know, right? Kanchi, the king of Kanchi. And then the king of Kanchi has came and he invited king of Kanchi to see the Rath Yatra, you know. And this king came of Kanchi, and they were almost in the brim of making a proposal between the king of Puri, the son of king of Puri, and the daughter of king of Kanchi. So the king of Kanchi came, and then he saw that the Rath Yatra was happening, but the king is actually sweeping the road. And then he was thinking, like, you know, how such a menial job is being done by the king, right? I won't let my daughter come to this place, because these people are very low class people. See, the king is sweeping the road. Can you imagine the king sweeping the floor? Well, anywhere you can see the king sweeping and that too in front of everybody. The whole world is watching, and he is just sweeping the road. And then he said, I'm not going to give my daughter to this king. And then he said, like, you know, and then the king asked, like, you know, why are you not giving? He said, like, I won't give my daughter to a sweeper's son. I won't give. And then he said, like, you know, I'm actually doing in the service of the Lord Jagannath. This is the Supreme Personality of God. Everybody is a servant in front of Lord Jagannath. But he didn't understand that. He said, if you really want my daughter to get married to you, I'm going to wage a war against you. And if you win against me, then I'm going to give my daughter to you. So the king actually waged a war. The king of Puri, the king of Kalinga, actually waged a war against king of Puri. And then they said, like, you know, this day we are going to fight. Now, on the 2 days before, or 1 day before the war, on the border of Puri, there is a lady who is actually selling yogurt. Her name is called Gaudini. And she was a lady who was actually selling what? Yogurt. And when she was actually staying there one day, two people, one in a black horse, another one is a white horse. And on the white horse, there is a black complexion person riding the white horse. And the person who is riding the white horse, black horse, is a white fair complexion person. So these two people were actually coming. And then he stopped by and they just said, like, you know, we need yogurt. Yogurt is like thin yogurt, like what's called? Chanch? Right? Buttermilk. So they drank all the yogurt and they said that we don't have any money. All we have is that, you know, just give this letter to the king, because the king of Puri is going to come very soon and is going to go to fight with the king of Kalinga. So give this note. And she said that I don't want any note, I just need the money. You just drank so much of yogurt, I don't have anything left, and you are just giving a note? How can this be possible? So he said, like, okay, take this ring. So give this ring, a diamond ring, and just give it to this lady. Just keep it with that. I show the king that, okay, two soldiers are actually drank so much of yogurt, and you have to pay this money. She said, okay, I'll go to keep this ring. So these two soldiers went to the Kalinga, and then the Kalinga king saw that two soldiers were coming. And he was laughing. These people are such a funny people, right? The king was actually sweeping the floor. And they said that they are going to wage a war. And only two people are coming for the war. And then say, like, okay, what, you want to sweep the floor here also? The king asked. He said, like, no, we want to fight with you. The king said, like, you know, how these two people are going to fight with thousands of army with me? And then they were an argument, and then finally these two people defeated the whole army of Kalinga. And then they said, like, we are the weakest soldiers of Puri, of king of Puri, right? And then Lord Jagannath has actually who are these two people? It was Jagannath and Baladev. So they came back, and when they came back, they saw this lady. She was waiting. So like, oh, he didn't come. Here, another letter. Who? Jagannath gave another letter to this lady. Give this letter to the king. He will understand it. And in that letter, Jagannath wrote, my dear sweeper. Who? Jagannath wrote. We have already defeated the king of Kalinga. And now he is ready for your the wedding, everything is all right. Just please pay the money to this old lady. He just wrote this letter and they left. And by that time, see, the problem with the Puri is that Puri king is a very pious king, always been like that. They are not into war and all this, they are always devotees of the Lord, right? So the army is like a Sankirtan party only. You know, half of the people will be actually reading some Bhagavad Gita, some of the people will actually doing some arati, some going to pilgrimage. So half of the army is like, so nobody wanted to fight. So the king arranged some few people here and there, some 10-15 people who are at least somehow able to manage to fight. So the king came to this, and this Gautini was there, this lady who was selling the buttermilk. So she said that, okay, so are you the king of Puri? So I want this much money. And this person, 2 people came and they actually gave this receipt, drinking all my buttermilk, and then he only gave this to these chits. And then who can come and drink on my name? I have not given any kind of authority for anybody to come and drink on behalf of me. So I don't believe them. And then she gave this ring. This ring has given by that person. And then he said, like, if you see this ring, you will identify. And then he saw that ring, and that ring was belonging to Jagannath. Why? Obviously. And then she gave that 2 chits to say this thing. My dear sweeper, I have defeated the Kalinga king, and they are now ready for your wedding, Jagannath, in signature. And he just fainted there itself. He was not Jagannath himself, right? So that is what is called the pastimes wherein Lord Jagannath himself will actually perform wonderful pastimes. So this Jagannath Rath Yatra is very, 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 very auspicious. Lord Chaitanya, when Srila Prabhupada went with his disciples to Puri, they were not allowing him to get into the Puri because they are white by body, right? They are white bodied people. So they were not allowing, the Puri people were not allowing them to get into the temple. So Srila Prabhupada said that, nobody, I will take Jagannath to America, right? So when Prabhupada was actually in San Francisco temple, and this was in early 70s or I think late 60s, Prabhupada was actually sitting there, and then one devotee of disciple of Srila Prabhupada named Malati, very old disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Very old means the initial disciple of. She came with something in her hand. She took these 2 pieces, or 1 piece I believe, in front of Prabhupada and said that, I visited one Indian store and I found this very strangely looking piece. Do you know what is this? And what was that? That was the deity Jagannath's idol, small Jagannath's idol. And then she put in front of that. Immediately Srila Prabhupada fell in front of that and paid obeisances, and she was shocked. And she was thinking, like, what is this? And Prabhupada said that this is Lord Jagannath, and this is the Lord of the universe. The Lord had, he heard my prayers. I was thinking that I wanted to bring Lord Jagannath to here, do the Rath Yatra, but at least now he has heard my prayers, and now he himself has come to me. And he said that, do you know there are other 2 more deities along with that? She said, I remember there are 2 more. Yeah. And she said, go and get it immediately. So she went in and then got these 2, Baladev and Subhadra. And then he asked one of his senior disciples, Shyam Sundar Prabhu, he was a carpenter, to make the bigger size of that. And that's how Srila Prabhupada made the first Rath Yatra in San Francisco, right? The same way, now because of that, all over the world, now Rath Yatra is happening. And because of the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, first time in Stouffville, we are actually doing the Rath Yatra. The important thing is that Lord Jagannath himself will be coming. He will be able to see the people, he will be giving darshan. If the people are very sick, then they will actually go to the doctor to take the medicine, right? What happens if a person is terminally ill? The doctor will actually come. Same way, people who are really, really unfortunate, who don't have any. See how many people are there in this room? Barely like 50 to 60, right? How many people are outside? Hundreds, right? So, who are all fortunate souls who will be able to see Lord Jagannath? See, when you are yesterday was Stouffville Rath Yatra, you know how many people got the opportunity to see the Lord. Can you imagine how many people were just drunkards? You know, people who have no idea what Jagannath is. They were just simply seeing Lord Jagannath, and it is said that if it is said in the Skanda Purana, this is the Skanda Purana benediction. If a person is able to see Lord Jagannath in the Rath, or at least he's pulling the Rath, he will never take a birth again in this material world. Can you imagine? Right? That is a benediction. So how much merciful Lord Jagannath is by giving the darshan to them. So we all wanted to participate in Jagannath, not only participate, but be an instrument in doing this Rath Yatra so that others will also get benefited. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So please repeat after me. This is the Jagannath, prayer to Lord Jagannath. Neelachal Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadrabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namaha. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani ki Srila Prabhupada ki Gaura Premanande
Purushottam Kshetri ki
Iskcon Stouffville Rath Yatra ki
Jai.